Hi, this is Andrew Shearer, arts and culture reporter for USA Today, onlineathens.com, and the Athens Banner Herald. I am trying to do, I've been inspired since my last video that I made. Like, people have actually watched it, and that means, I guess, that it was useful. And so I'm not going to keep doing these all the time, but I was inspired, like, oh, maybe they'd like to hear about some of the other stuff that I got. And I did get some things at the Days of the Dead convention in Atlanta, and I want to show you. But first, this is the coolest thing that happened. So the main reason why I went to that convention was because Bill Duke was going to be there. If you do not know who Bill Duke is, he's had a long career in acting and has also been a director as well. And he directed one of the movies I've only ever gotten a Criterion disc autographed, I think, once before. I think, well, anyway, here it is. It's Bill Duke's autograph to Andrew, Bill Duke, on the film Deep Cover, which is an incredible movie. And so meeting him, he's, I think, 82 years old. And they invited me to his birthday party. I think it was going to be like a huge event, lots of people going. But I was able to shake his hand and tell him that, everybody that's there is likely going to have him sign Predator-related items because he was in the movie Predator. And he had a bunch of, like, printouts of stills from the movie that you could pay to have his autograph on. And instead, I brought this to him, and I told him, I said, I hope that some of the people that are coming to your table today with this Predator stuff realize what a great filmmaker you are, too, because he made Hoodlum after this. Hoodlum is also really good, but this is a personal favorite. The other day on XM radio hip hop station came on. Rock the Bells came on. The station, Rock the Bells, played the theme from Deep Cover on Saturday night. And I still remembered most of some of Dre's, but like almost all of Snoop's lines. That was the first time we ever heard. I guess he was called Snoop Doggy Dogg at the time, maybe. Then he became Snoop Dogg, and then he was just Snoop. Yeah, speaking of conventions and signatures, I think the Eating Raoul one is signed by Mary Warnock, but I won't swear to it. I've met her probably 10 or 12 years ago. Where would I have had her sign? Or where did I usually ask them. Let's see. It comes with the Paul and Mary's Country Kitchen inside. Did I have her sign this? No, I didn't, because I brought with me Jewel Shepard's book, Invasion of the Bee Girls, and Mary signed that. That would be a whole other video, because, okay. Okay, so on to, this will be the cover for, they make you pick a thumbnail for your video. This is going to be the thumbnail. Okay, so Severin Films is a favorite company of mine that releases movies on Blu-ray, and I have a lot of their sets up here, and the coolest, they've done a lot of really cool ones, but the Black Emmanuel, I saved up for like a year to get this because it was like $120, I think. But this is 18 movies starring Laura Gemser. So, and we'll touch a little bit. I might even mention her because she has something to do with what's in the. Would be a good one, like. Okay, anyway, so they had a table at Days of the Dead, and I always do this. I get to the table and I'm like, what do I already have? Because they're putting out things now on 4K, but the bonus features and stuff are on a Blu-ray inside, which is still the same one if you bought the Blu-ray. And so really you're just paying for the Blu-ray and the 4K. And 4K, I guess, I guess it matters to me somewhat, but not enough to... But anyway, I rebought a couple because I didn't know, but still, the covers are cool, and I want to support them, right? So, here's what I got. From the Severin Films table at Days of the Dead. They are wonderful people. I also got to meet the guy from Terrorface, Graveface Records, TerrorVision, Graveface Records. Brad, I think, Henderson, is that his name? He was really great. He was really great. And I did buy some things there, but that'll be maybe another video if I... Anyway, so here's what I got. The first one, Antiviral. Look at how great the cover is. So Antiviral was the first, or at least the first movie I saw by Brandon Cronenberg. If the name Cronenberg sounds familiar to you, that's because his dad is a legend of... He is the body horror guy, Canadian filmmaker. And I have pretty much every movie that he's done back here. There's Naked Lunch, and there's Videodrome. Yeah, I've got a whole lot. But anyway, so this is 4K, and I don't know if they just released Blu-ray only. But this was Brandon's first movie. He later did Possessor? I don't think I have that up here, but I've got it. And which makes me think of the movie Popcorn, because the name of the fake movie they're watching in Popcorn was Possessor. But Possessor's great. And Infinity Pool, which that year, that was the one with Mia Goth. That year, his dad also put out a movie, Crimes of the Future, which was confusing because that was the name of one of his old movies, but it wasn't a remake of it. So, but anyway, Antiviral is cool. It's a lot like, you know, like, I guess if you're like following in your parents' footsteps making art, your first art is going to be kind of like theirs. And this is a lot like a Cronenberg. If you like the early Cronenberg stuff, like Crimes of the Future or Stereo, or even like Rabid and the Brood, this is like clinical medical horror. And if you like this guy, Caleb Landry Jones, I think he was in Get Out. He's a scary looking fellow. This is basically a one-person show of him. But Antiviral, I didn't own at all. So I'm glad that I picked that one up. Next we have Rat's Night of Terror. I don't know if you say his name Matai or Matei, but Bruno Matai. So I've heard the first movie I saw of his was called Women's Prison Massacre. And that was something that was released, I think, by Pop Cinema, who I used to get screeners from all the time when I was a blogger before I was writing about film professionally. They were by far the most kind and generous company about sending out material for people who reviewed movies. And I still have every single screener they ever sent me, because I think it's unethical to sell or those or put them on eBay or whatever. So, but look at the cover. So, Rat's Night of Terror, I think, is something that either Mystery Science Theater or Riff Tracks ended up making fun of. But I really like Rat's Night of Terror. The only thing that's a little bothersome, and it's not nearly as bothersome as some of the other movies I've got in my hand here when it comes to this, but there aren't any rats in Rat's Night of Terror. They are mice that were colored gray and black because they wanted the rats. I'm doing a quote with my fingers. They wanted the rats to have red eyes, and rats don't have red eyes, and mice do, or at least the mice that they were using here. So yeah, they used and there are so many. Like, you can tell someone's just got like a box with them all in there, and they're just dumping them through a window so it'll look like it's like falling through and attacking people. So if that kind of stuff bothers you, and it gets so excessive that it kind of bothers me, don't watch this. But I really like this filmmaker though, and I've got a couple of his other ones, so I thought I would have this too. This is also a 4K. So if you really want to see how terrible of a paint job they did on those rats, 4K. But it has, all of these have tons of bonus features, which is one of the main reasons why physical media, rather, I almost said social media. Physical media is always going to be better than streaming, because you get like the 4K, which never usually has anything but a trailer on it, maybe a commentary. The Blu-ray, which has tons of bonus features, interviews and stuff, and making of things, conversations with the actors that were in this. And it's got it comes with a CD of the music, which I don't always dig the music that's in Italian horror movies. It's kind of like electronic disco, but for some reason the music in this was really cool, and I don't remember why. All right. So the last two are cannibal movies. And why would I buy cannibal movies? Because I became fascinated with them when I was a video clerk, not at Blockbuster. I worked for Blockbuster first, but when Blockbuster fired me, my first job in Athens was Blockbuster. They fired me. I got jobs at smaller independent stores, and those places had just whatever. And some of the whatever they had were really freaky movies. And so I saw some stuff there that, well, I still haven't forgotten. Just, stuff that if you're used to regular horror movies and you see it, you're like, whoa, that goes pretty far. And that was the kind of experience that I would have there. So the first one, well, on the cover, it says Slave of the Cannibal God. But the movie Slave of the Cannibal God is actually the edited version of the real movie, which is called, well, here's the other cover. This is like a poster, old poster. The movie is really called Mountain of the Cannibal God. And the star of it is Ursula Andress, who I think was in James Bond. I've barely seen any James Bond. I've seen the one with Michelle Yeoh, definitely. And I don't know what other ones I've seen. That Halle Berry one I saw, or unless they were both in that one. Anyway, Slave of the Cannibal God, Ursula Andress plays here's a cool picture of her. Stacy Keach is also in it. And it's kind of a typical cannibal movie story. I didn't say why I liked them. I like them because horror movies are full of like people killing people. But these just add the extra step of eating them. And I find it odd that like murder isn't as taboo as eating someone. Like, it's all awful, And these are like, yeah, this is Italian. It was, anytime you see a cannibal movie, and you want to watch it, there's two things to look for. One, is it Italian? Two, does it start with a big like airplane shot of going over a jungle or forest? If it starts like that, it's going to be good. This one is good. Like, Ursula Andress' character is actually terrible. Like, instead of playing the woman who is traveling to this place to locate a friend, or like with the Emmanuel movie, she's like a investigative journalist. She's just a jerk that's looking for diamonds or something in the mountain, which is full of cannibals. I don't remember if they knew that, but they find out. So it's gross. It's got a lot of really fake looking gore in it. But when they're like eating what's supposed to be like people, and they sometimes cook it a little bit first, but like, it's really yucky looking. Like, it's probably actual meat. And speaking of real stuff, So everyone's heard of Cannibal Holocaust. That's like the grandma of found footage movies, but it's also like the godfather of cannibal movies. And so most people have heard of it being really terrible. Well, the reason why the special effects are corny. It's the um, real animals that are shown being either killed or like killing each other. Like this, it's what we would call Mondo footage. But yeah, in Cannibal Holocaust, the Grindhouse video Blu-ray of that has what it's called the cruelty-free version, so you can actually watch it and it skips over when the filmmakers actually showed like someone killing like a turtle and a monkey and something I can't remember, but you don't want to see that. And with this movie though, they don't. And there's like a snake that is killed and something else, like a Gila monster, like a big lizard. And then there's like Nat Geo type footage of, but they show it very like, they keep like very close up and long. Like all of a sudden you're in a weird documentary about animals that eat each other. So there's that. Anyway, but I liked it. I mean, the bad guys get what's coming to them. And Ursula Andress, if you're a fan, Ursula Andress, it's a burlesque person's name, a really awesome one. Last movie I'm going to talk about is The Last Cannibal World. So this is where cannibal movies get really confusing. And if, by the way, you're sitting here going like, wow, he sure is talking about cannibal movies a lot. I'm just fascinated by, you know, what people think is okay in horror and where the line is with horror movies. And so, because it's horror, people die, it's fake, but it's all terrible to see. But for some reason, the cannibal ones just have this aura about them. I've got a book from Creation Books called Meat is Murder, The History of Cannibal Film. I think that's what it is. Yeah, and it covers every horror thing that ever ate anybody, including like Leatherface from Texas Chainsaw and all these stuff. So anyway, another Italian. This one is Ruggero Deodato, who was the director of Cannibal Holocaust. This, so I haven't seen it in a while, but I'll tell you my first time that I saw it was called Jungle Holocaust, I think. Yeah, or something like that. It was under a different name, and that's normal for cannibal movies. Like that one I just showed you has two names. Neither of them are on the thing. Do I have Mountain of the... Yeah. Nope. I almost got excited. I thought I had Mountain of the Cannibal God up here. Yeah, I watched it for first time. My wife and I both had to have surgery around the same time, right before the holidays one year, and we were both on meds watching Ursula Andress and Cannibals. It was pretty... I mean, everything's funny when you're on pain medication, I guess. But, so yeah, the first time I saw this, it was, I think, called Jungle Holocaust. And the way you'll know it is if this guy, Ivan Razumov, is in the movie wearing his, like, Ringo Starr caveman movie getup. He might look like Tarzan, but he isn't. Let's see the cover, because that one was 4K. I already have Slave of the Cannibal God Blu-ray, and I bought the 4K. Look at here. Okay, Last Cannibal World. I think the Jungle Holocaust cover may have had this on. It was green, I think. Anyway. This movie does not care. Like, it just doesn't. And the thing about a guy who, like me, was going into this having watched, like, regular horror movie, like slashers and things like that. And I'd seen some, like, edgy things, like the necromantic movies. But mostly, once you get to know a character and you start seeing, anyone who watches horror movies can be like, okay, that person's probably not gonna live, that person's probably not gonna live. So you're like afraid for them the whole movie. Like, I know something's gonna happen to them, it's just a matter of what and how awful will it be. This movie doesn't care about that stuff. It takes you pretty far through a movie, and to the point where, yeah, you think, okay, that person's going to make it. And not only do they not make it, and this is not a spoiler, okay? You won't know from what I'm saying, but the cannibals get them in the absolute grossest way. And it wasn't even the fact that the effect looked really good, because it didn't. It was more of just like how long the scene went and all the... Yeah. Anyway, as far as the animal stuff, I don't remember what this one has. Always proceed with caution. With remember I told you, is it Italian? And does it start off with the jungle? Well, that should also be like a warning to you that there might be actual animals seen being killed or hurt. But Last Cannibal World, I haven't watched in a long time. But my memory of this is mainly that I rented it. I worked at night at the video store, so I get home, I watch these in the middle of the night with nobody to like talk to about them. And that was why I started blogging about them, and it led to a career writing for USA Today. But yeah, back then I was super shocked. I was so shocked. Excuse me. I don't edit these, so I'm sorry. That was too much sparkling water. That was it. It really freaked me out. And so anyway, the coolest thing about Last Cannibal World, I talked about Laura Gemser up there having done a couple, I think Emmanuel in America and Emmanuel in the Last Cannibals, which is also known as Trap Them and Kill Them. She's a hero. She's a journalist. She's a hero. And what an awesome movie that one is. But this has Mimi Lay, or Mimi Lai, L-A-Y. And an incredible actor, a perfect face for movies. And it's one of those things where, like, certainly there won't be an interview with her, but Queen of Cannibals, an interview with Mimi Lay, is on here. And I already had the Blu-ray because I could not wait to see that interview, so I had that. I bought this at the table just because I wanted to support them, really. And Mimi Lay in 4K, I mean, that's awesome. So she did that. And Laura Gemser, across 18 movies in your box set, does not do a new interview. No one really knows what happened. I mean, she obviously, I think, married a rich guy or something like that and doesn't have to do. But, a lot of them made these movies thinking, oh, nobody's ever going to see this, My friends and family won't see it. There wasn't, like, the press on set wanting to put an interview in the local paper, like how I do when they're making a movie. No, so, you make these movies, you work as an actor, you can pay your rent and all of that stuff, and that you just get paid once for it, and then whatever happens. And so it could be some of them regret doing those things, but she doesn't. And what a great do they have a picture of her on here? Okay, let's zoom into this. You see what I mean? Icon right there. Anyway, so this is it's good. So here are my things that I got at Days of the Dead from Severin. And they come with stickers too, if you order them through the mail, which I usually do. I did want to show you one other thing before I go. Oh God, it's 23 minutes. Can I just show you? I got stuff to do. So I ordered from Full Moon Direct. I don't think I've ever ordered Blu-rays from Full Moon, but they have a lot of bonus features on these. I got Tourist Trap, which scared me so much when I was a kid. I could do this whole video about Tourist Trap, my life journey with Tourist Trap. But it's so good. It's so scary. I interviewed the director, David Schmoller, like several years ago for Online Athens. So you can actually like Google Online Athens Tourist Trap or David Schmoller, and you'll see some like from his personal archive. He sent me photos from the set of making the movie and stuff, but man, is this scary. If you have any fear at all of mannequins or wax dummies or anything like that, I mean, I didn't before I saw it, but for the rest of my life. And the other one I got, and this just came in the mail today, Trophy Heads. I'm not the biggest Full Moon fan. I'm more of an Empire Pictures fan. But Charles Band did do this. And by the way, his book, Charles Band's autobiography, is awesome. Even if you're not into like, I mean, they make a joke about it in here. It's like blood, nudity, and tiny monsters. Because the movies are like, it started with like The Puppet Master or Dolls under Empire Pictures, which is a Stuart Gordon movie, which was great. But yeah, they're oftentimes just little somethings attacking people. But people love it, you know. It might be a ginger dead man. It might be an evil bong. It might be Killjoy the Clown, who I can't remember what size Killjoy was. Demonic toys. I don't know. Anyway, why did I get trophy heads? What is it about it? Well, it's who the trophy heads are. So the giveaway, obviously, that these people's heads get put on the wall of some guy. And the guy's not interesting. In his relationship with his mother, who the one who plays the mother was in I Spit on Your Grave, Deja Vu, the decades later sequel to I Spit on Your Grave that Miyazaki made. This has the original Scream Queens. It has Brink Stevens, Linnea Quigley, Michelle Bauer, and it also has Denise Duff from the Subspecies movies, Jacqueline Lavelle, and one person who, I'm sorry, but if I wasn't a big Full Moon person, so if that was a Full Moon person, I didn't see a lot of them. But when I met Michelle Bauer last April at FrankenCon, which I drove to Tennessee just to meet her, she's my favorite Scream Queen of all time. Look how excited I am about this. That's why I have all these movies. I'm an excited person about movies, especially like cult film and horror. I love. But, you know, I also have some of our very, very important American classics, like Easy Rider over there, right above Eating Raoul. So I thought, oh God, what are they going to do? Just cut their heads off and they're going to talk to each other? I don't know if I want to see that. These women are legends. But that's actually not what happens. It's like there's first like quarter of the movie is just this killer guy obsessing and talking to his mom. And that's fine. But the meat of the movie is the women. And they're interacting with each other. And they're self-aware about their careers. They're playing themselves. They're making like a parodies of what they've done and stuff. They got this one woman who's like kind of almost the improvisational setup that's in the other cell. And she's completely naked head to toe the whole time. But a great actor. So I was just like, okay, that's kind of shocking. Yeah, so they all get together and they all get to kind of parody what they've done and parody the way Full Moon makes movies. But I forgot how great, I mean, obviously Michelle, Brink, and Linnea they're my heart forever. I'll remember those names before I could forget my own name and still remember theirs. But Jacqueline Lavelle is so good. Like, Jackie Lavelle could be in, like, a sitcom right now. She is kind of like Cameron Diaz. She is just extremely funny. And I think the script, while it has way too many cuss words, I don't know if those were improvised or if they were actually in the script, which that would be not good if they were in the script. But they're all so funny. Like, the jokes in this are really good. Like, I think it's a very funny movie. I was surprised at how much I love this and how quickly I wanted to watch it again. And so this has rare original Scream Queen trailers. Like Full Moon, I guess. Charles Band, I mean, hey, he has, I guess, license for all those old movies that did. I was a kid. I bought Creepazoids. I bought Slave Girls from Beyond Infinity. I bought Slimeball Sorority Girls and the Slimeball Bolorama, Hollywood Chainsaw Hookers. Like, I loved all that stuff. Those were like my rock stars when I was a kid. And so, anyway, Trophy, it's really good. You can rent it too, but I just wanted to have it. So anyway, oh my God, this is a half an hour long. If you watch this all the way to the end, thank you. And I am really late for where I need to be right now, but thank you.